Hey everybody, it's been a while since I put out a video. I just thought I'd get you all caught up on what we're doing here. It hasn't been a whole lot since about midsummer. I just kind of took a break from cars and trucks and focused on my eBay store. But I'm starting to get antsy and wanting to do something in the shop. We just got done with a big ice storm. We were out of power for like 6 days. So I thought, this is a great time to get out to the shop, do a video for you guys, get you all caught up on what we're doing and what our plans are going forward into 2024. I got a couple projects lined up for this year, and hopefully we can make some content, multiple videos on a single project. We haven't done that yet, so it'd be kind of nice to try that out. Hopefully get some better camera equipment. I'm making all my videos off my phone right now, basically. So, got Resilience up there, the Roadster. We knocked that out in 2023. I think it was like 80 days from start to finish with my buddy Rex that lives in the next town over, just over the hill from us. I'd really like to take you guys over to his shop, show you his place. He's working on a 30 Ford pickup right now. It's a really nice build. He does really good work. But yeah, we knocked that out in 80 days from start to finish. It's got a flathead V8 in it, 51 flathead V8, APA. And it's a really fun car. So basically, between knocking that out in 80 days and then enjoying it throughout the summer, January, February, March of 2023, I had a couple of projects that I just got super frustrated with and almost wanted to throw in the towel on them, but saw them through, found them new homes. But between those two rigs and then busting out the Roadster super quick, I just kind of got burned out and just wanted to take a step back from the shop and getting my hands dirty, and just decided to stay in the office and build up my eBay store, which is another form of income for me. But we've got a couple projects lined up for 2024. I got one sitting outside that I'll show you guys here in a minute, and got the 50 Ford pickup right here. This is a personal project. It's kind of like it's always been a dream of mine to own a nice F1. I've had, the 51's my favorite. This is a 50, but I got such a great deal on this truck, I couldn't pass it up. The motor's been rebuilt, the transmission's been rebuilt, the chassis was basically ready to go besides the rear springs. So, but I'll take you guys through that too, what I'm doing on it right now. Parts. What's the deal with parts, man? It seems like it's so hard to find stuff. And it seems like prices are up 20 to 30% on parts from like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. That's crazy. So, I'll take you guys through the 50, and then we'll go outside, look at the project that I have lined up out there, kind of give you guys an idea of what my vision is for it. I'm going to need you guys' help on possibly a name for that project, and if we should leave it the way it is or do some extra work. I'm kind of still on the fence about some of the things I want to do to that. So let's take you guys through the 50 here, what the plan is for it. We'll probably be working on this off and on throughout the next year. I really wanted to get it done before the end of summer so I can have some cruising time with it, but I think we're going to just work on it off and on when we have time between projects for the channel and income, so gotta keep bringing in some money. So let's go ahead and walk you through this 50, and then we'll get you outside and we'll talk about the project outside. That will hopefully be doing multiple episodes on that. So let's check out this 50. Okay, so here's the 50. It's got that rebuilt 8BA. So this motor was rebuilt in the early 90s. And the guy that I bought it from, it was his brother-in-law's truck. He rebuilt the motor, and then he passed away, like in 92. So he got it from his sister, and then went out to the shop every month or so and rotated the motor. So it's still super fresh. And after we got the truck in, we set up a ignition system for it and actually ran it for a minute just to hear it and make sure that it was going to be a runner. And sure enough, it fired right off and ran great. So the oil is still brand new. It looks like it came just right out of the bottle. So the plan with this truck is I'm going to keep it as traditional as possible. I know that I can go to like a Mustang 2 front end and 4-link setup in the rear, but I'm just not going to do it. I want to keep it as traditional as possible. So we so far what we've done is we've raised this hanger, welded in some angle iron there to raise that, and then we flip this hanger in the back. So, and that's, you know, that right there alone is going to give us like 2 inches of drop. And then we're going to order posi lowering springs for back here, which it says it gives you 3 inches of drop from stock, but you know, that's if your springs are brand new on your stock springs are brand new on your truck, it'll lower it 3 inches. So we're probably going to see like 2 inches or 2.5 inches from where it was sitting when we first measured everything. So, but you know, you guys who have worked on these trucks and lowered stuff with just springs, you guys know that old wore out springs and then putting those on, you know, sometimes you don't see the full 3 inches. So, so I'm hoping for 4 or 5 inches back here. And then we've got a drop axle, 3-inch drop axle for up front. And then we went with the reverse eye main leaf on stock springs. And I think we're going to remove like 3 leaves from the pack. It'll give us like a 5 spring pack. So I'm hoping between that and then the rear, we will have about 1 inch or so of rake, and it'll be low enough for me. We're just going to be using this to cruise down country roads and stuff. So it's not going to be the straight axle. I mean, I've had plenty of straight axle trucks, Model A's. I'm used to them. I'm used to the rough ride, and so it's no big deal. The guy who started this restoration was going to paint it gold. It's a nice color, and I keep going back and forth with keeping it or moving on to something else. I would really like to have a turquoise, bluish, seafoam, antique blue, somewhere in there, pickup. So I don't know. And then I thought this cream color would look cool with the gold interior, but I'm so undecided. There's a lot of work left to do before we start painting stuff, but so I still have time to pick out colors. So what do you guys think? You guys think we should do full gold on the entire body, inside and out? Should we leave it gold on the interior, this antique white on the exterior? Or should we go with like an antique blue for the whole truck, interior and exterior? And I'm wanting to do like a copper paint on the motor with black accessories and probably chrome acorn caps, and I just think that looks really cool. So I think if we did the gold throughout, it would definitely look like that, you know, like a 60s have a 60s vibe, but I'm not totally sure what I want to do yet. So give me your input on what we should do. I think we're going to take the cab off and pull the motor, paint the motor, clean up the frame, repaint the frame, because it's, the frame was painted back in the 90s, but it's just been between shops, garages, piling parts on top of it. So it could use a nice fresh repaint. Since we're, it's this tore down, we might as well just tear it down the rest of the way, give everything fresh paint, and then start putting it back together. So this is my personal project. You'll be seeing this from time to time on the channel, I hope. I'm kind of a person that will randomly start working on something. I don't even think about doing a video. So hopefully I can get myself to get more videos out on projects and stuff. So, but once this is a roller, I think we're going to roll it out, put it back underneath the RV cover, and then we're going to start working on the project we've got outside. This cab is super solid. All the cab corners are in good shape. The doors are awesome. This is probably one of the cleanest F1 cabs I've seen here in the Northwest. There is not one bit of rot on this thing, and it's all metal. I went around the magnet, and it's all metal. There's no Bondo or fiberglass. It's a super solid truck. A really good base to work with. 1950, they came out with, I think it was the first year for column shift. I've been debating about making it a floor shift too. I've got a T5 that I can put in this thing if I want to spend the extra money on parts to do the conversion. But I kind of like the idea of the column shift. This is just going to be a casual cruiser, and I kind of like the idea that the floor will be open, for leg room, and I think we're going to put a 9-inch rear in this thing to kind of help with the gearing ratio and stuff, so the motor's not working so hard. But I might just go ahead and keep the column shift. I kind of like it. This paint's in really good shape. It'd be a shame to cover it up. Obviously, there's some places that was missed, but the dash looks really good. And the doors, this stuff is just paint residue, not paint, but tape residue. So it'll come off, comes off pretty easy. But the paint on the doors is in great shape too. So kind of be a shame to cover this all up. May just have to stay with the course of gold interior, antique white exterior. And I've been thinking about possibly putting our logo on the outside of the doors. And our logo is, it's red and black and white. And it might look pretty cool with the antique cream and gold. And then it makes me think, well, should I keep the motor red then? See, the possibilities are endless. You go back and forth, and then tomorrow you'll be in a different mood and you'll think something else different. So yeah, let us know down in the comments what you think we should do with this thing, how we should paint it up. I'm going to keep it old school, drop axle, lowering springs in the back. So yeah, we're going to keep Stillies on it. We already have like brand new caps for these wheels. We're going to use these wheels. They're 16s. The 16s back here, I've never seen these before. They've got a really deep dish. They're super cool. They're going to look great in the rear on this thing. I was talking to somebody, one of my pals on Facebook, and he said there was a shop in Portland that used to take these wheels and they would remove the center, flip the wheel, and then weld them back in. And that's how you get the deep dish on them. So, but that's deep. That's like 3 inches deep than stock. So, but it looks super cool. I really dig it. So they're gonna look great on this truck. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working on this thing over the next year, getting your guys' input on what we should do, and sharing this experience with you guys. I've always loved these trucks, 48 to 52, 51 being my favorite, as I mentioned. But this is also like my dad's favorite Ford pickup as well. So it's going to be fun having this done and being able to cruise it with my wife and cruising it with my dad and just letting my dad have it for a day or a weekend or whatever, to go do whatever he wants to do in it and cruise it. So yeah, let's go out and check out that project outside. We'll show you guys that and get you guys' input on that as well. Guys, well, here's the 48 Ford pickup that we have out here. We picked this up on July 4th of 2023 of all days. It was like, I don't know, 101 or 102 that day, and I think we waited a couple of days till the weekend to go pick it up, and we did it late in the evening too because it was still super hot that day. But been sitting since sometime in 1985. I don't know exactly what season it was, but the brakes went out on it, so they just drove it down to the barn and parked it outside the barn, and it's been sitting outside since 1985. That's a year before I was born. So but we got it home. It's set for a few weeks, and then I pressure washed it and got all the gunk off of it from sitting outside for that long, and then tried to start it. The motor was not stuck. We got it home, rolled it off the trailer, and I grabbed the fan and put some pressure on the belt, and I mean, it didn't even appear to be stuck. I mean, it just started to turn. It was like butter. So it was not stuck, which is crazy. And I think I have the choke being set to thank for that. And then also there was a bee nest that was inside the top of the carburetor. So I think it sealed it off really good. And there was a bunch of junk in the tailpipe. So I think it kind of helped with the moisture getting into the motor and stuff like that. So it was not froze up, which is awesome. But I did have 2 stuck valves. It took us probably, I did not want to take the head off. It took us probably like 2 weeks of soaking, using a bore scope, and making sure we're getting the valves nice and oiled down. And then we put a loop and a little hook and a straight screwdriver and started tapping on valves until we got them to finally break free. And then we rotate the motor a few times, and they got stuck a couple more times, and you know the drill, getting those valves freed up. So, but then after that, and she fired off and she ran like a sewing machine. Obviously, she smoked like a chimney for a while, but we were able to run it off of a can up on the front of the truck and drove it up the street and back with no brakes. So that's always fun. But let's take a walk around on this thing and show you guys what kind of shape she's in. It's actually remarkable for sitting outside for about 38 years. What kind of shape this body's in and the floors and stuff. You guys will be amazed. All right, guys and gals, let's go ahead and check this thing out. So she's a straight 6, flathead 6. Good motors. This is the first one I've ever worked with, but by what I read online, these are little powerhouses. So usually the farmers that have these trucks on farms and stuff and homesteads, they would get the straight 6 because they had more torque, and they didn't overheat as much as the flathead V8s would. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to replace all of the wiring in this truck. I had to do a lot of work. You guys can see the fresh tape and stuff on the wiring. I really had to play with the wiring to get stuff to work, but we filed off the points and got those cleaned up and put a new coil in there, and it runs good. I'll have to throw a video in after the walkthrough of it running and us driving it down the road for you guys to see. But all the original plug wires, I did put new spark plugs in it, but all that kind of stuff will be changed as we move forward on this thing. Probably new wiring harness. The cooling system holds water and there's no leaks, so that's just incredible. We rebuilt the carburetor, obviously, but it runs great. It's kind of it's cold-blooded to start, but once it's running, she just runs like a top, man. So when the brakes went out in 85, as they were taking it to the barn and had no brakes, they obviously lost control and ran the front of the truck into a trailer, a little trailer that was parked with the tongue up in the air, and that tongue went right into the grill. So I've straightened it out a little bit. It needs to be straightened some more. It's not perfect yet. It won't be perfect, but then we've got the top bar, but this side's going to need a new parking lamp lens and assembly, because it was so beat up. There was no way we were going to be able to save that. But the paint on this thing, man, it is funky. I call it a desert camo. But so this was the original color, this gray color. I think it's like dovetail gray, I think is what it is. But it's got some Bondo on it. You know, this area here is usually really rusted out on these trucks. This one's pretty good. It's got a little bit of rust right there, but it's pretty solid. Obviously there's rust down here, but it's been Bondoed, so I'm sure it's actually worse than what we're seeing. But the bottom of the doors look really good. The cab corner, this cab corner is like perfect. A little bit of rust back in here. The cab corner on the other side is pretty beat up. I'll show you that. Usually this is completely gone. Just got like a little spot there. The fenders are in pretty good shape. They're not beat to crap like these usually are. You usually see like a dent and then a long scrape going down the side, and it's, you know, it's so hard to work the metal on that curve there. I've got two fenders underneath the cover out there that have the exact same dent and drag down the fender on each one of them. It's like, that's a common thing on these trucks. But down here, it's got some rust. That's the worst of the rust on the whole truck, which we'll probably just leave it because it's just gives the truck character. It is what it is. It's a Survivor. A few holes in the bed, the aftermarket bed floor, because there is a wood bed underneath there. It's pretty much gone. But tailgate's in great shape. Does have a repair right here, but again, I think that just adds character. Usually these are folded up, and there's been tons of repairs done, and there's been support added to them, and that hasn't been done to this one, so it's kind of cool. This fender's in good shape too. No big dents, no long scrapes going down the side of the fender. Somebody obviously had probably stacks or something going through these running boards, because the other side has a hole cut in it too. This side's been repaired. The other side hasn't, but I've got good running boards I want to put on this truck. This is the cab corner I was talking about. It is pretty dented up. There's no rot. There's been a metal repair right here. Obviously, it was in a wreck or something ran into it and hit it on the farm or something. They just threw a bunch of Bondo on it and then repainted it. This fender, like the other side, it's got Bondo repairs along the bottom. Same with the rear fenders. It's got a dent right here. I did that because I was pushing on this fender, trying to get this crease out of it and get it bowed back in a little bit, and then I put a dent in it. So, not good. The hood, right here where the hood supports are, this side's rusted out. So I might have to clean that up and put a couple tack welds in there to kind of hold it together. But I don't want to do anything crazy to take away from the character of the truck. But that's like the worst part of the hood. I mean, the hood's in really good shape. I've seen them rusted out pretty bad. See, this side's the same way as the other side. Just gonna have to, find some good metal and do a couple of tack welds to hold that stuff together. So my plans with this truck, I am thinking of one or two things for the exterior. We either leave it the way it is, scuff it, clean it, and put some patina sauce on this thing and run it with the desert camo. Or we clean it up, scuff it. I'm not going to go crazy like fixing any of the Bondo stuff. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, scuff it, put one or two coats of red on this truck, and then go back and scuff up all of the problem areas on the body so it will start to rust again. And then that way it's all one solid color. It's not this multicolored desert camo deal. And then I'm thinking staying with the stock wheels and going with a beefy looking farm truck tire with a lot of tread, kind of like the old school mud style type tires that these things had on them back in the day when they were on the farm. And then the plan is to either sell it or we keep it and kind of make it a form of revenue for us, as far as maybe renting it out for events at farms or weddings, or people who are wanting to have portraits done. It can be driven to their property and pictures taken with it, and then driven back to our property. Sorry about that. And so that's kind of the idea for the exterior. Keep it straight 6, keep it all stock, keep it the stock height, and go make it like a survivor farm truck. So what do you guys think? Should we keep the desert camo, or should we go to a all one solid red color and then scuff it up? So here's the interior. It's been painted black at one time. I believe the driver's door, it's kind of hard to tell. You can see that it has the gray, but then it has this utility yellow, then it has the red like the rest of the truck, the repaint. So I don't know if this is the original door or if it came off of a utility truck and they used it on this truck, because that door over there doesn't have any yellow. This is the only yellow on the whole truck, is this door. So I'm just kind of wondering if this was a donor door from another truck. The floors in this truck are absolutely solid. It is unbelievable. I have not found one area of rot in this whole truck. Now I need to take the seat out and check the back of the cab, but so far it's promising. I do want to repaint the interior. No matter what we do on the exterior, I think the interior is going to get repainted. I'll strip it down, probably go with a red in here. So that brought up the idea for me of doing red on the exterior too. Just doing a super cheap paint that we can get from like the Tractor Supply store, and just make it all one solid color, so it looks good, and will look good in people's pictures and at events and stuff like that. So I'm gonna post some pictures, before and after pictures of the interior after this walkthrough, so you guys can see what this thing looked like. But they made like a homemade radio delete for in here. It said they carved out Ford and everything. I thought it was pretty cool. I actually saved the radio delete top and put it on top of my workbench because I thought it was pretty cool. But there was grass growing in here, guys. There was literally a lawn in this truck. So instead of breaking out the lawnmower every week and mowing, we decided to clean it out and pressure wash this thing, and it's solid. It is so clean for a truck that was sitting outside for 38 years. So so yeah, it's very complete in here. We're gonna have the seat recovered, that sort of thing. We got to go through the brakes, rebuild all the brakes. If this is gonna be something that we're gonna keep, I'm going to just completely redo them. I'll just buy a kit and new master cylinder and new lines, new everything. So this is the only, I forgot about this part on this fender. This fender is pretty rotted out right here, but besides that, the fenders are in pretty good shape. You can see Bondo and stuff through here. But old Survivor farm truck, you're gonna find that kind of stuff. So there's the hole on this side. I can't imagine anything else that would have been there except for like stacks at one time on a flathead 6-cylinder. But these mirrors are super cool. These farm truck style mirrors, and they're on both sides. Most of the time you find one busted off. So those are both on there, which are really cool. So yeah, what do you guys think we should do with this thing? Leave it the desert camo and just put some clean wheels on it and some new tires? Or should we scuff this thing down, spray it with some fresh paint, get it all one color? I don't know. I think the passenger side makes you want to repaint it. The driver's side, I think it looks pretty cool. It's too bad it's not the same way on the other side. But it's going to be a really cool Survivor truck. It's not going to be a hot rod or anything like that. I don't think this truck, someone could take this thing apart and make it into a sweet truck. It is solid enough to be built or fully restored. So I don't want to take it so far that if I want to sell it in the future, that I've put so much money into it, I'm not getting my money back out of it. So I think just doing the brakes, getting it running, driving, stopping, and start renting it out to people for holiday pictures and events and stuff like that. You know, see if it makes us some extra money, and if not, and if it becomes too much of a hassle, then we can just put it up for sale and know that we can get our money back out of it. So let us know in the comments, what should we do with this thing? Paint it, leave it. I also want to come up with a name for this. What do you guys think we should name this girl? Something old, an old name. My 30 coupe is Louise. So, you know, something along those lines. Edna, Bertha. There's a whole bunch of different things. Give us some ideas down in the comments, and we'll pick one. So I love these old trucks. So I'm really looking forward to getting this on the channel and working on this thing with you guys and making something of it, you know? It's been sitting in the field for 38 years until the 4th of July this last year. So it's going to be a lot of fun to make this into something. And I think it'd be really cool to drive this. We got it 8 miles from our house. So I thought it'd be really cool to get this thing done and then drive it 8 miles to where we got it from, show the owner what we've done to it, and maybe let him drive it around for a little bit. So it was really cool getting to meet him and talk to him about the truck and stuff that he did with it. Him and his brother each had one. So it would be really cool to show it to him after we've done something to it, obviously. So yeah, let us know, guys. Hit those comments and let us know if we should paint this thing or just leave it. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video, and thank you for hanging in there with us over the last year as we've kind of introduced what we're doing on YouTube. Hopefully we can hit it more seriously in 2024 moving forward. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll be having another video out, like an official video series on the 50. We still haven't named this one. I'm really big about naming my rigs, so we haven't named this one yet. We got Resilience in the background back there, Little Red Riding Hood back here. This is my wife's car, and we got Louise, which is my 30 coupe. So we still need to come up with a name for the 50 and the 48, so you guys need to help us with that. And so another project too that we're going to be doing in 2024, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you saw that we worked on my dad's 61 Falcon, redid the interior, freshened up the engine bay, new paint, stuff like that. Well, we just recently picked up a rebuilt transmission for his car, and then we got a 170 straight six. It has a 144 in it right now. We may do some little upgrades to the motor, paint it, get it all nice and clean like the 144 that's in the car now, and then do a transplant with the motor and the transmission. It'll be like a 25-30 horsepower upgrade for that car. The car is gutless with the 144, so we got to do something to make it a little more user-friendly for the hills and stuff around our area. So look forward to doing that and getting that done. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and hit subscribe, share. We're getting really close to that 500 subscriber mark. We're like just over 300 right now, so it'd be really cool to get to that milestone of 500 subscribers. So go ahead and hit that subscribe and like and comment for us. So thanks guys, thanks for watching. Look forward to showing you guys what we're doing in the months ahead. So stay tuned. Talk to you guys later.